Sorry about that. The my microphone decided to cut out. We're all good there though. Hello everybody. Apologies for the bit of the wait. To quickly do a couple of things before stream. And some of that happened after I hit go live, so let's get into games. I'm gonna hop on broadcast channel. Yeah, I guess we'll see who's around. It might just be me commentating today, I'm not sure. But for now, we got a Marco versus Skyro game coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Be a good one. I'm going to play on Shrouded Backwards, which I've seen some interesting games from so far. I think it's definitely one of those maps where people need a little bit of time to kind of get used to. Yeah, people need a bit of time to get used to how the map plays, and got things like trebuchets and stuff, which, you know, people haven't really had much experience playing around with, so I guess we're gonna get into it and see how that goes. But for now, start. Did I grab the replay code? That is the most important question. I did! Okay. Let's get into it then. Alright everybody, welcome in. Got a Marco Maps versus Skyro matchup. They're playing on Shrouded Backwards. This is Test Your Mettle October. And I am looking forward to seeing how this goes. We've got a twins mirror, interestingly enough. What are we going to see here? And oh, we already see Marco kind of backing up. Whereas Skyro is going far deeper into the center. And that will actually allow them to grab this central village. And if I'm Skyro, am I actually going to try and sneak a capture on this lumber mill? They don't go for it, but the option was there. That is a lot of money they could have potentially stolen off their opponent. And yeah, there we see Marco. Oh, wait a minute. I was talking about lumber mill getting yoinked, but it's actually Marco who yoinked the lumber mill. And this is, oh, really bad for Skyro. That's a lot of gold right there. 300 in lumber. And yeah, just immediately gets cut down. We're gonna see these swords kind of come over here. We've got the knight as well. And sure, Skyro held center, but Marco was actually in a really good position there. I think it was like a slight misstep from Skyro. Because yeah, now we see the golem coming out. Skyro gonna have some knights, so can potentially deal with this. Is this a knight crit? No, just a regular knight hit. You're still gonna hurt a lot. And twins don't have a particularly amazing place to heal from. But they can just back up. They've got a lot of units to support them as well, so not really the end of the world. Oh, we see more knight pressure coming in here. Regular knight hit on this side as well. I wonder if you want to just position the knight one tile back just to allow for the crit. Oh, and twins actually gonna go for the damage there. Yeah, swords gonna get picked up. Another sword getting picked up as well. So Skyro's doing a good job on unit count right now. That said, this heavy hitting golem that's going to be marching across the map is going to be a real big issue. Especially, yeah, it's got a whole bunch of nice units to back it up. It's got a knight and a witch behind it. And looking at the money, we could see maps elect to get any number of units could get a dragon, although maybe not so much now, just spent on a heal. More heals come out. Alright, just Mage Knight. Makes sense, wants to keep their commander on high health. That being said, Twins almost have Groove. But we could see them use that to heal instead. And now Scarrow. Tempo is actually swinging very much in their favor. Able to kind of win that middle exchange. And this golem, I don't really know about this positioning. It's a bit too central. Maybe we would have liked to have seen it more on the left hand side. What are we seeing? Alright, Marco is just going to swing right. Could have actually positioned a bit more aggressively here. I'm just going to play it safe for now. Skyro taking advantage of the fact that they have money. We're going to see them building golems. We could see this lumber mill going for the cut. And finally they just don't have the hideout. Like, yeah, I don't need that at all. Marco, on the other hand, yep, we see rifle coming out. Ooh, Twins have Groove. Big Fire Groove could have come down here, but no, actually just going to play very passively on this side. I actually really don't like this. I think this village over here was a prime target for getting flipped. And Skyro is just slowly going to hold this map. Slowly advance, take both lumber mills, flip both of these central villages. I say central, like central in the terms of like the vertical line. Oh, but Marco. Yeah, they're just gonna slow grind forwards, and oh, here we go. Going for a big push now. Takes out. You know, I don't know about this. That's a lot of. I feel like if they were gonna push, it should have been sooner. They don't have a unit to cover the mountain tile. This golem could potentially go down as well. I think we're going to see. Oh, if he was gonna hex, he should have hexed first. Oh, this is not the best attack. The trebuchet is not in range either. I guess it kind of covers up here. But we're gonna see a whole bunch of units starting to go down. I'm potentially gonna see some swords getting suicided in here. Yep, first sword comes in. Then we're gonna see a knight crit and golem hit. Oh, that's really unfortunate. And I think Marco just went in a bit too quickly. Trebuchet is not in position to support. They had Twins. Oh, actually, maybe they're going to try and do something with tier 2. But yeah, that hit on Sedge was not worth it at all. So much damage coming in there. Oh, dragon. That's really scary. There's 2 golems as well. Air Trooper goes down. Twins have Groove. Moves the Trebuchet up. Oh, if you're going to fire Groove, you want to do it right now. You don't want to wait. Oh, I'm so worried. Okay, we're going to see another heal. Now comes the Groove. Alright, 1 unit goes down. Oh, but there's a swords right there. Oh, there's a lot of unit suicides here. I feel like he's just dead. Legion sword comes in first. So yeah, we're just going to see more and more swords getting thrown in here. Four health sword. And it doesn't really matter what the order is for these very low health ones. Because yeah, they can all just keep throwing themselves in. And they're only going to do little bits of chip damage here and there. Every tiny point of damage is like huge. Because now the Knight crit follow up. Actually, are they safe? Or is this Golem? No, Golem can't get around. Okay. Sedge is going to be able to get some damage. Huh. Did Skyro just blunder? Surely the twins are dead. Or did he just miss the mountain tile? That is also another important question. It looks like he just missed the mountain tile. Oh no. And this was looking horrible for Marco. And all of a sudden, it's going to completely swing around. Yep, Dragon's going to go down. And like, yeah, just keep throwing things at the enemy. Yeah, you want to get those twins away. You want to get them to some level of safety. I guess Skyro just missed this mountain tile? Which, you know, can happen. Oh, I don't know about that. Probably better off just healing the sword rather than hitting a village for basically no damage. Oh, and Skyro's got big money this turn. I think, yeah, just wants to get through. And Sedge, ooh, getting close to tier 2 now. 156%. Alright, really good mage heal though. Skyro has regrouped a bunch. That being said, Wargroove is available. Treb crit is also available. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Alright. Dog goes down. We're gonna see the sword go down as well. And, oh, I guess he just really wants to go for another tier 2. Nope. Oh, Marco, I really don't know how I feel about... Oh, especially that Scorching Fire. That was very risky. He keeps throwing out these grooves at like really inopportune times. Another big mage heal. Which, while great value in terms of gold, is also a lot of gold to spend on something that you don't really want to. Night crit suicide? You don't see that every day. Into a spear as well. Okay. Punches through. These golems are just continuing to be a massive problem for Marco. And despite Skyro having a horrible blunder at Commander Lethal, they are holding on. Fire goes away. Trebuchet gets another crit. Marco going to continue to push. Flips this lumber mill back, which they're very necessary. Twins coming in. We're going to be able to take out the mage. Okay. Mage on a road, so that makes sense. Alright. Nice mage crit coming in here. And, oh, I mean, Stronghold's wide open. There needs to be some kind of defense here. The golems can just walk up and kill it. But are we just going to see a Commander Lethal instead? Yeah, Commander next to the road is never something you want to see. Sedge will have Groove this turn. He just needs to hit like anything. I mean, unit suicides don't count, but he has a whole bunch of other units that could just be thrown into like whatever needs to be thrown into. Oh, 3 unit suicides though. This is the danger of fire. You just weaken up your opponent's army just enough for them to be able to kill your commander with it. Here we see Golem coming in. Yeah, twins are super low. Sedge is going to have Groove. Kills the Trebuchet just for good measure. And max range Sadistic Rush. Yep, twins go down. And Skyro going to take it in a very messy game, actually. Look at that unit count difference. Skyro sacrificed so many units into Commander. Twins got so many kills this game. But unfortunately, for maps, Skyro manages to get lethal on the second try. And I mean, I really think that Marco had a point in the game where he could have been more aggressive and didn't go for it, and there were points when he needed to be more reserved and didn't go for it, so it was ahead in the opening. So I think like there was definitely potential for Marco to win, but Skyro just overall played a very solid game plan. Very unfortunate with that one lethal attempt, but just it took advantage of the fact that Marco couldn't really deal with these golems. Didn't really have the tools to deal with them. Trebuchet is okay against golems, but you need stuff in front of it to protect from golems. Because the golem does have 5 range, it can just walk up and hit the trebuchet while staying out of its range. But yeah, really nicely played there. We're gonna take the game. Oh, nice game 1. You didn't realize the emblem was at 30? Ah, okay. I thought it was like the fire was like hiding the mountain. And you just didn't manage to break through? Yeah. Yeah, that can happen. And another example of me being right about trebuchets, by the way, I'm gonna keep going on about this, but they just aren't as strong as people think they are. Like, Marco lost so much tempo just from like the Treb not being able to. I mean, he also pushed at the wrong time. Like, he needed the Treb to back up his army. But yeah, I just like golems are just like super good. Like, that's kind of all there is to it. People just aren't winning with Treb. But I'm curious. We're gonna see more. I think we're gonna do another. Oh no, I can't do Shrouded Backwoods again because there's a bug. So I think we're gonna do Mastro has a game on Cloak and Dagger, so I think we're gonna cover that one. We're gonna be playing as Conan. I think Conan asked me to cover a game from September as well. I'll probably get to that next time because I actually feel kind of bad because I actually did say I'd cover that and then just kind of forgot. Okay. But we're gonna see how well Conan does against Mastro. This is a bit of a world champion versus like newer player matchup, but maybe something good can come from it. Also, because of like the way we're doing things on the YouTube channel now, like not everything from a live stream has to make it into a video. Like, we can kind of curate a bit more. And we have more people covering matches now, so we can cover every replay technically, or a lot more of them, while also allowing for the actual videos to get released to just be more of a high quality. You know, if someone just gets lethaled in the first 2 minutes of a game or something, like, it's just, unless it's an actual tournament match, I don't think it's like super necessary for that to just be its own video. Anyway, see how this goes. I don't know how long we're streaming for today, by the way. I'll probably only do 4 or 5 replays. Just because we have I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done, especially for Wargroove stuff. Actually, there's a lot of kind of back end work to do. But those scars Twitch on Conan. Oh, I do. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I need to, at some point I need to go through and just like reset a lot of these things and then find people's like actual Twitch details and stuff, and because at some point it's just auto saved it with Skyro's thing and just changes it to that. Anyway, let's get into this game. We're gonna see how this goes. Alright everybody, this is Cloak and Dagger, and we have Mastro, the world champion currently, versus Stefan aka Conan. Someone who's a bit newer to the community, but they've been putting a lot of time into TYM, and we've been seeing them improve over time as well. So we're gonna see, you know, how well are they gonna fare in this matchup. Ragnar versus Dark Mercia, like relatively even commander power. Ragnar actually really scary, honestly. Her like main weaknesses right now is just like a lack of range more than anything. Her damage is incredibly strong. Her groove charge speed isn't actually that terrible either. Already up at 41%, but this map has a lot of capture phase to it. A lot of territory is going to get picked up pretty quickly. So we're probably going to see these tier 1s appear really quite soon. And how's Conan doing here? They're doing okay. Heals on Dark Mercia. Air Trooper comes out. I actually really like this. You're going up against a knight. Air Trooper makes sense. Ragnar, ooh, gonna kill the sword, but still gonna, oh, actually not get the income. Sword goes for the decapture, but you really need some defense here. And oh, we're gonna see. So one thing Cloak and Dagger was famous for back in the day was this very early aggression onto Stronghold. And we might have to see Stefan, you know, actually cover this because, yeah, there is a Knight crit lined up on the Stronghold right now. Not gonna go for it. Just gonna take out this sword. I think this actually could have been a very short game. Yeah, Ragnar is in position to deal with this, and there's just not enough here. Conan, your stronghold's wide open. You gotta defend this right now. Yeah, we see the Harpy coming in. See the Air Trooper getting into position to punish the Knight. Although, no, it's not quite in the right position. Probably would have wanted it to be in this forest, but... And there is a mage, and oh, here we see the trap on this Knight. So it went in on its own without support. And yeah, if you're gonna go for Stronghold, you do need to have things with your army. Otherwise, like, this can happen. So really nice defense from Master. Master showing like how to defend against this kind of early Knight pressure. There's no commander support either, so alright, yeah, just suicides. Okay. Now we've seen Conan be like, oh, I actually need to kill some of my opponent's units. I've definitely been a bit behind on that front. Ragnar has tier 2 groove. I'm kind of curious if Dark Mercy just dies here. I also don't know what happens if you groove a unit that's next to the map edge. Like with a knockback. I don't think I've ever actually seen that interaction, so I'm curious what's going to happen here. We might just see Dark Mercy fall though. Ragnar can do 100% damage from basically any tile. Up next to the commander. Dog gonna go for a bunch of damage here. And the mage has to get the follow-up. Is that actually gonna be enough? 57? Yeah, it's gonna be enough. Commander on the road, this is gonna bring her down to 37. And yeah, Ragnar can just jump. And Conan, I think, scrambled a bit too hard for defense here. Skill jump gonna come in. And yeah, just lands on the mountain. Dark Mercia falls down. Not quite enough defense. You need to be able to defend without commander as well. So struggling on defense with commander against your opponent's commander is going to be kind of rough, especially if you try and go for like a big push on the top left. And yeah, that Knight went in for the crit on the Stronghold, got it, but you know, was immediately dunked on by a Harpy. So yeah, Master just really knew how to play the map, did a really good job. And Cloak and Dagger is a really hard one. This is, I think, one of the most one-sided maps we've ever seen in tournament, where the first time it ever got ran, so many people just died to Stronghold lethals, and it was a bit of a different version of the map. It's actually a bit more defensible than it used to be. but you need to be able to defend your stronghold with just your barracks and your tower. Like, you just have to be able to hold it. You have to play far more defensively because, especially in a circumstance where if you're playing aggressively on this front, you need your commander to back it up, and you can just turn it into a base race if you're not careful. But Ragna actually really strong on this map. It turns out, like, this a lot of terrain, so her jump actually gets a lot of value. You can jump onto mountains, do a lot of damage to different things. I could actually see like Ragna doing a bunch of interesting stuff on this map, where other commanders might not. You know, things like being able to, you know, decap a barracks from behind, or like hit this tower, for example. So yeah, really cool. Mastro's gonna take it. I think that was kind of expected. Mastro, current world champion. But anyway, on to the next game. Yeah. Yeah, air troopers are a thing, harpies are stronger. Like, you can just defend without needing your commander to come in for defense. And Dark Mercy is going to be a bit of an awkward one as well. Just because... how do I put this? Like, she can open up a lot of suicides onto her if she isn't careful. Oh, my throat's so dry. This might be a very short stream, by the way. My throat is not feeling great. Apologies to everybody who heard me cough. I tried to cough away from the microphone there, but... Okay, what have we got next? We have a map here that's just like a casual game, which I'm kind of intrigued by, but I don't want to solo commentate that. So I'm just gonna look at what's here. So there's a fog randomizer game. Ooh. I don't have the randomizer installed though. I really need to get that set up. Let's see. My game. Another one of mine. I know Conan really wanted me to do his in-memo game. From last month. Find that one. I'm gonna have to keep scrolling up here, aren't I? Let's see. There's a whole bunch of Half Cake Island that never got done. Okay, I've had to scroll up so far and I can't see it, so... We're gonna do another Shrouded Backwoods. Or... Oh, no, actually, no, wait. There's a Cloak and Dagger game here. We'll do this Conan versus Maps game. I think that should be a fun one. Nuru, interesting. Conan playing Sigrid. I actually think Sigrid has some potential on this map, just because she's able to remove blockers, and that's always a good thing on kind of a clunky map like this. I say clunky, not in like a derogatory way, but just like it's difficult to push through stuff. You know, opening up a side on a map like this is just like so valuable, just because the terrain's so heavy. Alright, let's get into it. We got a Nuru versus Sigrid matchup. We don't see this very often. get into it. Alright everybody, we got another Cloak and Dagger game. This time Marco Maps versus Conan. We're gonna see how well they do. Both of these players a bit newer to the community, so but they've both been like putting in a lot of work, so I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna play this one out. Sigrid going for the center route along with Nuru as well. Are they gonna go more aggressive onto the barracks, or are they gonna go more aggressive onto their opponent's stronghold? And yeah, Conan, just for now, kind of mirroring what Marco is doing, which I think makes a lot of sense. Air Trooper comes out. I think Air Trooper is a brilliant choice on this map. So much heavy terrain that they're able to fly across. Knights are very favored on this map as well. So we're just going to see them take advantage of all of that. And yeah, Sigrid going to get a big juicy heal off as well. She's sitting on almost 2/3 of her groove, so going to be a huge threat to this barracks. And what are we going to see on map side? Nuru, also quite a strong choice. And oh, Stefan, aka Conan, doing a very good job taking these villages and being very aggressive on this front. Oh, but doesn't knock the village down, which I think is actually very unfortunate. You really don't want to be taking counterattack damage on low health swords. But here we go. Spear walls up. Conan looking very strong on this defense. This is how you defend this barracks. You build some heavy units like pikes. You don't need the mobility as much. You respect the fact that your opponent's commander is going to be able to defend their stronghold. And then you play a bit of a longer game plan. There are aggressive plays where you can go for your opponent's stronghold, but defending barracks is much stronger than attacking barracks in this case. Okay, Sigrid gonna get another sword kill. Has groove now. That's pretty scary. Air Trooper going to be able to capture from the mountain, and this is the strength of the Air Trooper right here, able to just ignore all of this terrain. And you're gonna be a huge threat to this knight. Oh, knight's gonna get a bit of damage, but Air Trooper will eventually kill the knight. And now Sigrid can be a huge threat to this barracks, and oh, builds a golem defensively. I don't quite know how I feel about this, because sure, it's going to be a really strong defensive unit. Oh, Archer should... Oh, I was going to say come in first, but no, it actually hits the other spear. This makes sense, you weaken up both units. And Stefan really piling onto this barracks, and yeah, just hits the knight. Doesn't go for the capture on this village, but I guess that's fine for the moment. Oh, Archer maybe going to go down? It's going to take a hit from a sword. That's not what you want to have happen, but these spears are very weakened, which means that if they try and heal, they're going to either weaken this village, which will mean it can get flipped more easily, or the barracks, which also means it can get flipped more easily. Ooh, these spears are quite far out. They're going to take a bit of damage. Dog goes down. Oh, the golem's in a really easy position to get killed. And sure, like, Stefan's army here kind of got crushed, which is not really good, but on the other hand, he's about to eat a golem. Lost a lot of extra groove there. 65 groove is not really what you want to lose, but okay, should have hexed first as well. It's a FYI for everybody, like that knight would have taken about, I think, an extra % or 2. And obviously, you know, the Air Trooper takes less on the counter attack, so... Okay, Golem gonna try and push Sigrid away.
Goodbye.
Interesting play. She's on a mountain, so, you know, never gonna die. You could just kind of stay here forever. Like, gonna heal on the barracks. Oh, the barracks is so low now. And if by some miracle this archer was able to go down, I'm trying to figure out a way that could happen. That barracks would just be so easy to snipe. Even the 25 health air trooper I think would do it. Oh, and Stefan's got so much defense. Nuru's getting surrounded. Nice hex coming in. Air trooper crit. You don't get to see that very often.
Goodbye.
And Sigrid being very careful to make sure she always has an escape path. I really like this. Golem can't threaten this mountain anyway, but having that witch there is really nice too. Big mage heals coming in. Okay, decent counterattack damage coming in from Marco, but has to be really careful. If Sigrid gets another groove, that golem just dies. I mean, hell, Sigrid can just hit the golem at this point, and it probably falls. Mage crit is available as well. You got another hex. Oh yeah, just gonna go for
How foolish.
the enemy harpy. Makes sense. Okay, golems kind of do a little bit of counterattack, but that's not really a threat. Yeah, mages are just going to continue to crit stuff. And oh, yeah, spear goes down. More units getting ready to kind of pile on here. Honestly, you really want another archer just to support this attack. I don't know how I feel about that. I think you could just go for the surround here. Spear probably not necessary for the first one, but Nuru is just going to get battered for the moment. And as long as there's nothing to clear these sides, she can't actually summon anything. Which means even if she had tier 2, she can't even benefit from like the reduced cost of building stuff. And yeah, unfortunately I think Marco has just gotten surrounded. Went a bit too over aggressive there. Golem gets bolt. Alright, so what's going to happen here? I mean, you can't clear any of these sides. You can really hurt this knight, but that's about it. Archer gets bought, which, oh, I don't know if that's a great idea, because now Sigrid's able to break one of these walls. This spear could go down. Double archers, you know, kind of scary, but... Oh, is there actually going to be an attempt to break this without using Sigrid Groove? There is, and now Sigrid can just walk in. Probably kills the full health archer. Yep. Just wants to get that extra damage. Air trooper comes in. Does damage to the knight. More damage coming in here. And yeah, Sigrid. Nuru is just dead. Couldn't break this around. Gonna go down to whatever Stefan wants at this point. Golem is the choice. That's gonna seal the deal. Well played. Conan takes a game. Nicely done. And we saw a game earlier where Conan was playing Mastro, and Mastro made it very, very clear that he was the better player in that matchup. But Stefan, we're seeing, made some good adaptation. Played the map a lot better this time around. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say. Just had a very clean pressure on this barracks, knew how to defend their own barracks, and looked really strong. So yeah, well played. Stefan gonna take it. Conan, sorry, I will always make that mistake, but yeah, just looking very solid there. And Sigrid, honestly, I think is a good choice for this map. Maybe not the strongest commander, but being able to clear one side in a kind of choked up terrain point like you'll see here and over here, really, really strong. So yeah, nicely done. Alright, I actually really like it when we see people kind of nearer taking games. That was really good. My voice is actually going. I'm actually really sorry, but I actually am like legitimately struggling to talk right now. I have to go be social after this. So I think we're gonna call it there actually. Sorry, I was not expecting my voice to just go. I realize this has been a very short stream, 40 minutes long, but there's not much I can do about not being able to talk. So thank you everybody for watching. This was fun. I'm going to cut up and upload a bunch of stuff for videos, because we're actually good for like the next week, I think. But I'll be back on Tuesday. I'll be doing more replays then. And we should have the next Test Your Metal announced by then as well. I just need to go and compile all the maps for that. So thank you everybody for watching. Oh, and we'll probably do the podcast on Sunday. So if people are around, we'll try and make sure to do that. I'm gonna go message people about that just now. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will catch you all soon.